Today we are going to be doing an awesome road trip through the Waiaweka Gorge and also taking a steam train through Gisborne.
Previously on New Zealand's biggest gap year, we explored the beautiful Waiaweka Gorge and its amazing amount of historical sites and amazing wildlife. And if you did miss it, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss again one of our amazing adventure. And now the continuation of day 278.
We arrive at the Gisborne Railway Station where we're about to board the Gisborne City Vintage Railway, and even the station itself looks pretty vintage. Out in the distance we can see the steam train getting prepared for the journey ahead, and everyone on the platform is absolutely buzzing.
We feel like Harry and Hermione ready to board the Hogwarts Express and go straight into Mordor. It feels like a really awesome train and it feels like being part of history. And this is basically what this entire vintage Gisborne Railway tour is all about, discovering the history of this beautiful beast.
So Davey just offered me to join them in the locomotive for the first part.
Yeah, so you've got Stephen as a thing, and I'll get you to sit in the seat over there.
Sweet.
So I'm staying in one of the beautifully restored carriages in the back of the train, watching the beautiful views of Gisborne go by, while Robin has been given the VIP treatment by going right into the locomotive itself to see how that operates.
Well, to be quite honest, the VIP treatment is not really luxury at all. This engine is teamy, bumpy, shaky, and extremely loud. In fact, everybody in the steam engine is actually wearing earbuds while I'm not, just because, well, I didn't come prepared. This old steam engine is absolutely chaotic. Everything is shaky and you can barely have a thought for yourself because, well, everything is burning and everything is actually super dangerous. The two guys which are operating that have kind of a code to communicate with each other without being really able to hear each other. So they kind of tap on each other's shoulders when they need to say something and then they point at something. But the whole thing feels like absolute chaos. Alright, so let's go through a few facts about this steam engine. So we are in a WA165 locomotive. It was built in 1897 in Dunedin and it has been operating in Gisborne for many years. This locomotive was then retired in 1959, yeah, that means that it operated for over 60 years, which is super long for a machine of this size. Then in 1962 it was used in a kids' playground around Gisborne. We have shown you guys a few kids' playgrounds around New Zealand and honestly they are always super epic, and having a massive real-life locomotive as a playground is a prime example of that.
One of the really interesting and pretty gnarly sections of this railway journey is going over the Waiaweka River Bridge, which is about 329 meters long. It's a really old bridge and we have to slow right down to cross it to about 10 kilometers per hour. And currently we've been traveling about 25 to 30 kilometers per hour. But eventually we do make it over the bridge alive and come to our final stop for today, which is in Muriwai. The river crossing is not the only highlight of this railway journey though. We've also crossed over an airport on a runway, which is the only railway line in the southern hemisphere to do so. Once we arrive in Muriwai, it's time for the locomotive to move from the back of the train or the front of the train to the other side of the train so we can start making our way back toward Gisborne.
So everybody is watching the locomotive being anchored back to the train. I hope anchored is the correct word. I'm pretty sure it's not, but we'll go with that for now. And then after, we are making our way all the way back toward the train station that we started at. It's a really cool way to see the same sceneries but in a different light. And this light right now is a smoky one. God damn, a steam train creates a lot of smoke. But jokes aside, I actually do really like the fact that we get to see the same sceneries twice, because when I was inside the locomotive with all this chaos going on, I didn't really get a chance to embrace and see where we were actually driving through. So now that I'm in the luxurious wagon, I get to see it all over again. And as we arrive in Gisborne, it's time for us to say goodbye to the lovely crew of the Gisborne Vintage Railway and make our way back toward Opotiki. It's a drive through the Waiaweka Gorge again, and because the weather is not that great, we don't do that many stops. We are just munching on ice cream, enjoying the misty landscapes of New Zealand and making our way back to our accommodation.
So yeah, we arrived back in Opotiki, get ourselves out of the rain and get into our accommodation, which is the Royal Opotiki Backpackers. And tomorrow we are scheduled to do a jet boat ride, but that probably won't happen since the rain is so bad. So see what we do tomorrow. We'll think of something.